You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just text FINANCE, FINANCE, to 357-911 right now to get started. That's FINANCE, FINANCE, to 357-911. Auto financing the easy way. Text FINANCE to 357-911.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
I take a breath, I'm not gonna lose. This is what I came here to do.
Keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. You're listening to America Off the Rails with your host, Rick Robinson.
Hello, America. Welcome to the program. I am Rick Robinson. It is Monday. Again. Seems like we were just here, but it's Monday again. It is July 4th, 2019. We are live right now on KLRNradio.com, where liberty and reason still reign. I do hope everybody had a great Monday. For those of you that are in the deep freeze like me, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to form a hunting party, find the groundhog, and put him on a roasting spit. So, we do have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, but before we get into the political stuff, I just have to say I'm pretty sad today. Luke Perry passed away today after not recovering from apparently a massive stroke. The cause of the stroke is unknown. Everybody speculated everything from drugs to uncontrolled high blood pressure. I really don't know. All I know is an icon from my childhood has passed away, and that the older I get, the less well I handle this, because he honestly wasn't that much older than me. I'll be 46 in May. He was 52. Now, he's about 6 years older than me. That's not that much in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I know, when you're going from like 6 to 12, yeah, that's a pretty big leap. But after you hit adulthood, 6 years, not really that huge of a deal. And the fact that we were that close in age and he basically just had a stroke out of the middle of nowhere and passed away, gotta say I'm not really handling that very well. A scary thing about realizing how easily it can just all be gone and you have no idea it's going to happen until it's just boom and it's done. So very, very sad about the passing of Luke Perry. Bit of a fan of Riverdale. I haven't really kept up with it over the last couple of seasons, but my son and I kind of binge watched the first season on Netflix a few years ago, and I kind of loved the entire concept. Having him on the show kind of made it easier for me because, he was somebody that I could relate to from my childhood, and now he's gone. And it's just, we're just going to take a moment and say to his family, wherever you are, wherever you find yourselves today, just know that America grieves with you. And we want to thank Luke Perry, wherever you are, for bringing so many smiles to so many faces when I was a child. You were, I was never a huge fan of 90210. I was a huge fan of the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, however, and you did an awesome job there. But, just thank you for everything that you did, and wherever you are, I hope you're at rest tonight. All right, so that's all we're going to say about that. So it's not like we have a shortage of other things that we need to talk about anyway. Like, the craziness that has become the Democratic Party. So, just to kind of give everybody an idea of where we are, I talked about this a little bit on Friday night's America Off the Rails. For those of you keeping score, the show has moved again. I'm honestly toying with the idea once we get time change out of the way. I think I'm going to go back to 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock Eastern pretty much on every night but Wednesday, because I'm not doing 4 hours of radio in a row. Because what's going to happen now is there'll be America Off the Rails on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wednesday night, which when we do the trifecta, that is now going to become Robinson and Wright. Dan's significant other has had a promotion at work. The only day off they seem to ever find in common anymore is Saturday, so him staying up late to do a radio show with me was putting a cramp in the rest of his life, so we have opted to move that show for a couple of reasons. By Wednesday, I'm usually pretty tired, and half the time I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a show. Having a co-host to do it with will make things much easier for me to keep up with. And so, it's just going to be one of those things where I can make sure that you guys are more consistently getting the entertainment that you're looking for. But as far as that goes, so that will not be happening this week. That actually will start not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, because I have to rework some of the intro stuff. That show, when it got launched, was always on Fridays. So now Friday is like all over the intro. So I have to do some changes, because now we're going to have to find a way. I'm either going to make it... I'm not sure if I'm going to make it day specific or not, but I don't know. I mean, it's not like Wednesday is not another iconic day, so we could find other ways to do that. But then I'm just thinking, if we move it again, then I have to redo the intro again. But I don't plan on us moving it again anytime soon. At least I hope not. So that's just kind of a programming update. Don't forget, this coming Friday night, we will still have the red wine before I go live on America Off the Rails. So that isn't changing. They're still going to be doing bi-weekly. For those of you that were tuning in to and were expecting Game On with JD and Stacy last night, unfortunately, JD had an issue with a client that came up last minute, so they were not able to run live. We do apologize, guys. They're going to do everything they can to be with you as often as possible, but unfortunately, business is business, yo. Sometimes you just got to deal with it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take the first break a couple minutes early, mainly because suddenly I seem to be having a coughing fit, and I want to have maybe have a second to get a drink before we got to get into the heavy stuff, because we do have a lot of things that we need to talk about today. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We will see you guys on the other side of the break. Don't go away.
Son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. Why am I suddenly feeling like maybe it's because I said it 3 times. I'm suddenly feeling like I'm singing the theme from Welcome Back Hotter. All right, so anyway, we have lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Mostly the Dems losing their minds. Now they've apparently decided they're going on a fishing trip. Does anybody remember when the only thing the Dems would talk about was Russia? It sounded a lot like this. The 1980s all over again. We were in the middle of a Cold War with Russia, even though just a few years ago Barack Obama point blank told then candidate for president Mitt Romney that the 1980s called when they wanted their foreign policy back. This was the reaction of the left from the minute they woke up and realized that Donald Trump had won the election and their next 4 years in life was going to be a nightmare. It had to be Russian collusion. There was no other explanation. Hillary had it locked and he had to have stolen it from her, and it's all Russia's fault. Fast forward about 38 months, and suddenly the story's changing, because, the Mueller report's coming out, and they're like, it's coming out any time now, but we're not really sure it's gonna do what we think it's gonna do. So now the Dems gone fishing. Now they're going to put up to 8 different committees going on in Congress simultaneously to find whatever they can about Donald Trump in the longest running, most expensive congressional fishing trip ever. Welcome to America. How you liking it so far? I'm not a huge fan, let me tell you. It's nuts. So they basically point blank admitted that the only way they think they're going to be able to get him now is by proving that the entire Trump family, well, just we've been kind of doing some audio aids. So let's keep going with it here. Give me just a second. Because now they've got it in their heads that the Trump family, well, to put it a way that you're all going to be able to understand, they think the Trump family's a lot like this family right here. Let me make you an offer you can't refuse. We're gonna build a Trump Tower in Russia, and you're going to pay for it. Alright, so no, seriously, they've now decided that they're pretty sure that they can prove that somewhere, somehow, some way, the Trump organization has broken the law. They're now going to take the tack that the Trump family is a crime family. Because the collusion story didn't stick. Nothing's bearing fruit. Nobody cared about the Cohen testimony that just happened last week. Everybody was popping popcorn and laughing, except for the Dems. The Dems were terrified because, oh my God, he says he's got checks. Dude was convicted. You pled guilty to forging bank documents. And you're talking, pardon me, about checks that he's presented as evidence while he's talking to Congress, even though he's also pled guilty to lying to Congress. This is all you had? And now they're talking about running as many as eight different investigations all at the same time within the House. Because there's got to be something. There's got to be some way to get Trump, because they know they can't delegitimize him anymore. There's not going to be enough damage that's going to be able to be done by the Mueller report. And at this point, they're not sure what they're going to be able to do. So they're going to try to get him through the death of 1,000 cuts. This is what I was warning you guys about months ago, when I kept saying, even when I thought it was a very unlikely possibility, I kept saying, if the Dems get the House back, Trump's in trouble. Because now they're not going to stop digging until they find something. Period. It doesn't matter what it is. We're going to get to the point now where this is going to be a lot like Al Capone. They aren't going to be able to get him on what they were coming after him for, so they're going to find anything they can make stick. And at this point, they don't even care if it's something they can't get him for until after he's no longer president of the United States, because all they're trying to do right now is knock him out of office. Now you've got Democrats that are seriously talking about impeachment again, and they're saying impeachment is a long way off, if ever possible. But unlike the Republicans who stonewalled for 2 years, we're going to get to the bottom of the Trump criminal organization. And that's where we are right now today. We're watching a bunch of Democrats grandstanding and running around the country talking about how they're going to unseat Donald Trump, because first it was because he was illegitimately elected. Then when they couldn't figure out how to make that stick, even though, they tried. Look at everything they tried. They were following him around. They basically had him wiretapped and under surveillance the entire time, and now they're convinced they're going to be able to find something illegal because of those wiretaps and everything else that they had going on. And they just know that if the Republicans had let them do their due diligence, wow, I cannot talk today, I am so sorry. If the Republicans had allowed them to do their jobs 2 years ago, then Donald Trump would not be president today. It's all the Republicans' fault. Never mind the fact that you guys floated the worst possible candidates. The party of inclusion and everybody's allowed to play floated a bunch of old white people. How'd that work out for you? Well, except for Sanders. He's got the white card. He's got the old card down, but we can't really call him white because he's Jewish. At least that's what I'm being told. I'm not actually sure if he's Jewish or if he's converted Jewish. I don't really care. What I do know is, if not for the Democrats rigging their primary system with something much akin to the Electoral College, most likely Bernie Sanders would have been running against Donald Trump. And Hillary Clinton wouldn't have had a shot. Now, the scariest thing for the Dems is the fact that the Clinton machine is massive. Massive. What they seem to forget is Hillary ain't Bill. The last name don't matter if you can't back up your talk. She's now lost twice, and she's still flirting with the idea of running again. This is insanity, if you ask me. But that's fine. Let the Dem field continue to grow. The governor from Colorado, I think is where he's from, has now decided he's going to run for office in 2020 as the president on the Democratic ticket. He's throwing his hat in the ring. Problem with that, he's really, really pro-oil. Never going to survive the Dems. The left-leaning Dems are going to eat him alive. And let's face it, the left-leaning Dems are the ones that are running the show right now. Bernie Sanders, pretty akin to Donald Trump in crowd sizes. He's been, out walking the walk and talking the talk, so to speak. Had a stadium or some sort of a venue full of like 12,000 people a few days ago. He's the only one bringing in numbers like that. For those of you that don't think the idea of socialism is catching on in this country, they figured out how to get it done. They slapped the word democratic in front of it, and now they've got you convinced that democratic socialism and socialism are quite the same thing. They even tell you that in economics class. I know, because I just took one a couple years ago. I'm actually brushing up on one now. look at things the way they are, because if you actually look at the definition of democratic socialism, they actually try to make it as much like it's a capitalist society as possible, but with some government intervention, which is not true at all. Anybody who's been to a democratic socialist country can tell you it's not capitalist. The government still controls the majority of private industry, which means it's not capitalist. You have plenty of companies right now that are controlled by the government in this country in one form or another. That's a bad thing. It's really, really bad. But the scariest thing is you have Bernie Sanders able to fill arenas. But why? Because he's telling people what they want to hear. You should not have college debt. It should be free. You should not have to struggle. Let the government take care of you. This is the same guy that has 3 houses. This is the same guy that never had a job in the private sector until he got in the private sector at all, became a public figure when he ran for office, and now has 3 houses and a net worth of over $1 million a year annually. But he's telling you shouldn't have student loan debt. Bernie Sanders, why aren't you taking care of people's student loan debts? Your annual income is estimated to be at $1 million a year. You own 3 separate properties. Why are you not sharing the wealth? That's what your ideology says that you're supposed to do. But it's not for the private citizen to do, is it, Bernie? You want the government to do it. You want to be able to just say, well, I'm giving my portion in taxes, now it's the government's problem. There's a huge difference between how democratic socialists want things done and how capitalists want things done. I don't want the government to decide where my tax money needs to go. As a matter of fact, if it were up to me, I wouldn't pay taxes at all. Because I'm a firm believer that I could do more good with the money that I'm sending to the government than they can do. Because for every dollar they take, 80 cents of it goes towards administration. And if you don't believe me, look at the numbers. Every time they come up with this great idea of how they're going to make your life better, the first thing they do is build the infrastructure as far as the administration and stuff that's supposed to take care of it for you to make sure that you don't have to. And that's where the good bulk of your tax money goes. Whether anybody wants to admit it or not, is paying for the salaries for the bloated craziness of government that we have right now. Now we have the left telling us that we need more government through things like the Green New Deal. You know the scariest thing about all this? Donald Trump, and we've talked about this before, has had about 94 to 95% negative press coverage since the day that he announced that he was going to run for office. And he still has a 46% approval rating. The same approval rating that Bill Clinton had at this time in his first term. The same approval rating that Barack Obama had at this time in his first term. And you know why it is that even though the media is tearing him apart and hitting him with everything that they can, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, some of the stuff that the media is hitting him with are self-inflicted wounds. Donald Trump says crazy things he shouldn't say on Twitter. He picks fights every chance he can because he enjoys the fight. But at the same time, he still has a 46% approval rating, even though the media is throwing everything they can at him, and now the Dems are throwing everything they can at him. And he's still sitting at 46%. That's a bit crazy as far as I'm concerned. Because you would think with someone with about 95% negative press coverage, he would be subterranean as far as his approval ratings. The reason I bring this up is because imagine the approval ratings he would have if the media was giving him a fair shake. All I'm asking them to do is call it down the middle. He gives them plenty of things that they could be tearing him apart about. And he does it on his own to himself because he's not a politician. He's a guy that basically has no filter. And he hits him with everything that he can, whenever he can, because he's felt like the left and the media and everybody else has been out to get him from day one. And he basically let everybody know it at CPAC this weekend. I had planned on pulling some of the audio, but there was over 2 hours of it, and I wasn't going to go through it all. I listened to a few minutes of it here and there. I saw some pictures. One of the pictures that I thought was really cool was when he was first coming out and he hugged an American flag. I don't know very many elected officials that would do that. I thought that was pretty awesome. All right, we're going to take a break. Bottom of the hour. This is Off the Rails. I am Rick Robinson. We'll be back right here on KLRNradio.com before you know it. Don't go away. Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Whether we realize it or not, everyone has been impacted by addiction. We all have family members, we all have friends that have faced this demon. But there's hope. There's hope in recovery. There's hope when we work together to rise above the plight of addiction. I'd like you to join Mac Mullings every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on Rise Above Radio on KOKC 1520 AM, where they talk about the hope that is available to all of us.
From getting to our children's ears. We must go fight the source of it. But what is the source? Oh, that's easy. Times have changed. Our kids are getting worse. They won't obey their parents. They just want to fart and curse. Should we blame the government or blame society?
Or should we blame the images on TV?
No, blame Canada. Blame Canada. For their beady little eyes and flapping heads of moral lies. Blame Canada. Full of salt! Don't blame me for my son Stan. He saw the darn cartoon and now he's off to join the clan. And my boy Eric once had my picture on his shelf, but now when I see him it tells me to fuck myself. Well, blame Canada! Blame Canada! It seems that everything's gone wrong since Canada...
Alright, sorry about that, folks. I had to, for those of you not listening live, we have a chat going on here, and actually, Al said he had a new theory, and he blames Canada, so that, now you see how my mind works. But anyway, so, sorry about the bit of language. I kind of forgot that she drops the F-bomb in there, but I couldn't help myself. Alright, so, I mean, come on. It's pretty simple at this point. They're just looking for anything that they can find. They're going to dig through everything. Now for the Dems, they're looking at this, and I think for some of the, because you got to remember, some of these people have been there this long. I think they're looking at this as justification for the way they feel Bill Clinton was treated, because they basically feel like the Republicans threw everything they could at him until they found something. But let's not forget, Bill Clinton was an attorney and should have known better than to lie in front of Congress, when all he really had to say was, this is a private matter between myself and my wife. I plead the Fifth Amendment, and I'm going to make sure that it stays that way. Whatever happened in that room, which I will neither confirm nor deny, will be discussed between myself and my wife. And it would have been that simple. It really would have been that simple. Now, again, what concerns me with this fishing trip is the Dems have basically just... I mean, at this point, they're pulling Babe Ruth. They're standing at the plate, they've got the bat in their hand, and they're pointing at the wall. This is how we're going to get him. We couldn't do it with Russian collusion. There wasn't anything that we could find. Even if Mueller comes out at this point, whatever it's going to be is not going to be enough. So this is how we're going to get him. We're going to get him Al Capone style. And there have been people within the Democratic Party coming out and publicly acknowledging this within the media, and the left and the Democrats are all they're clasping their hands and they're giddy. And I'm just thinking, at this point, guys, look at what's going on with our economy. We have now had 12 consecutive months of above 3% GDP. We have jobs and money coming back to America at a record pace. And the only thing that you guys have right now is we've got to get him out of office because we don't like him. Look, I'm not a huge fan of Donald Trump in a lot of ways. I don't like the fact that he screwed around on his wives. Let's face it, the dude's had affairs with against every woman he's pretty much ever been married to. But that's none of my damn business. It's not. And the whole idea that now they've got him on campaign finance reform fraud because these checks that Cohen says that he's gotten paid, that he has proof of, were to repay him for monies that he pulled from the campaign to do blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. The simple fact of the matter is they don't have what they think they have. Because even Trey Gowdy has come out and said if Donald Trump did this to try to protect his wife from finding out what a stupid moron he was, then they don't have anything, because he wasn't doing it to protect the campaign or even the president at that point. He was doing it to try to keep his family intact. And that's why at this point now they're going fishing. Because they've tried everything else. They've got 2 years left one way or the other. But look, folks, I mean, at this point, whatever they find, because here's the thing. Every time they move the goalpost, every time they say, we don't have enough here, but we think we found a smoking gun here, the average American person is looking at all of this going, this started here with you claiming that he should never have been president of the United States and it was all Russia's fault that he was. You haven't been able to prove that, so now you're digging around over here. They are digging their own graves on multiple fronts. They have caused a 17% shift in the overall opinion versus right to life versus right to choose in the last 6 months, because they are now openly endorsing infanticide. I've said this before, and I will say it again. When they are starting to talk about letting children die on the operating table because they survived an abortion and they don't want to deal with it, then it's only a matter of time before the old and the infirm are next. And they are not hiding this anymore. Because when they get this push for socialized medicine, and if we do not stand up and in one loud voice say, we do not want this, we have come this far, we will go no further, we do not want this, then when they pass socialized medicine, and if we continue to let these socialists into our offices, then they are going to pass socialized medicine. Then at some point, when it becomes too expensive to care for Grandpa and Grandma Smith in their old folks' home, then they're going to be put on a list. And right now, a lot of you are rolling your eyes and can't believe he's talking about this right now. That's never going to happen in America. It already is. We were talking about it after the fiascos in England with their national healthcare system and how perfect it was supposed to be, that there was a very similar situation here with a child that was in state custody. The parents were fighting to keep the child alive, and the judge ruled against them. Now, is it the exact same scenario? No, but it's really, really close. And if you think that if we get something akin to the NHS here, that we're not going to have exactly the same scenarios playing out here as they have in England right now, then you're just not paying attention and you might as well not be listening. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm being honest. If you cannot look at this from the perspective of socialized medicine only makes things worse, and it does. If you don't believe me, let's please remember years ago when Katie Couric was at the Olympics in Britain and she hurt herself. And she kept saying, I have a camera crew with me here. I want to go through you guys' NHS system and show my American brothers and sisters that this is what we need here. And they told her, oh, no. You have money. You have means. We have the ability to get you cared for properly. You're going to go to a different hospital. And she kept saying over and over again, but I'm trying to convince the American people that that is what we need here, and you won't allow me to do so. And that's the point. They knew how bad it was because they deal with it. Everybody talks to me about how great Canada's healthcare system is. If it's so great, why before we passed the ACA were they coming down here all the damn time? Everybody talks about, well, we've got to do something about the cost of medicine. And I get it in certain perspectives. Like insulin. Insulin, by and large, hasn't changed in decades. And yet the average price per bottle has skyrocketed. Those are things that I don't understand. But I do know that we are the ones that are paying for the brunt of the research when it comes to medications. So I'm wondering if some of those passed on costs for the cost of insulin have anything to do with all the other things that are starting to come out that are supposedly able to help people that are diabetic. And yeah, Ron in the chat has said ACA established end-of-life consultation, which is basically federal-funded doctors telling you to hang it up. You're a drag on society. Well, They can tell me that all they want, but I ain't listening. I don't understand why we keep having to have this argument. I don't understand why we keep having to have people like Ocasio-Cortez, who basically not too long ago talked about the fact that America wasn't founded on capitalist principles. Now, for those of you keeping score at home, she was only half wrong. By the time America was founded, the founding fathers actually really were pretty much on the track of capitalism. However, one of the first pilgrim settlements actually tried socialism until they nearly starved to death. We now have full-on socialism in Venezuela. For everybody that's telling you it's not working because they're doing it wrong, I submit to you it's not working because they're doing it right, and it fails every time it's tried. You don't think it's failing? Look at Great Britain right now. They are doing everything they can to get out of the EU. They took a vote to get out of the EU, and now their own government's dragging its feet to get them out of the EU. Because even they are looking at all the open border situations and the national healthcare system and everything else. They're like, we have screwed things up and we've got to fix it. They've woken up. We're still sleepwalking to where they are. The scariest thing about America, and I never have understood this, we fought a war to get away from these people in 1776. We fought a war again in the 1800s doing the same exact thing. Because they came back for round two. But ever since we fought that war, when we made up with them, we've been 10 to 15 years behind wherever they are at any given time. Whatever their leanings are, eventually we go that way. We're usually a decade, maybe a little bit more behind them, but we're still going that way. And I just don't understand how we keep winding up at this point. All of the people that have fled socialist countries that live here now are looking at us and basically they're giving, if you have, I mean, you know it, you've seen it, you've got to have friends that have come from socialist countries that are living here now, and every time they hear somebody like Ocasio-Cortez talking about how great socialism is, you see the WTF look come across their face. I have talked to people that have come from socialist countries. Like, we came here to get away from this crap and it's following us. You know, it kind of reminds me of my day job type stuff, because I've been in one particular field now for quite some time. When the company folded that I was running, I got into a particular field. I worked with one company for nearly 3-4 years, went to another company, worked there for about 3 or 4 years. But the funny thing is, the same policies and procedures seem to follow me everywhere I go. Like the company that I worked for originally, when I went to work for Company 2, the consulting company that was hired by Company 1 was hired by Company 2, and suddenly they started enacting a lot of the same policies and procedures. By now, Company 1 has 0 brick-and-mortar locations, and they're now doing everything work at home. But, you know, that consulting firm was a great idea. So then I come to Job 3, and now a lot of those same policies are being implemented there. I understand how the socialists feel. Because I've been trying to run away from the crazy and from the things that don't work and trying to find somewhere where they're getting it right. And every time I turn around, those same policies that have caused other companies to go from number one performers to nearly dying out are now being tried elsewhere. I'm watching the same thing happen in America. And it's really, really scary to me that we live in such a way that we've now decided that the only way that we can be free is for the government to take care of everything that we need. I don't understand how reliance on government can be confused with freedom. But that's where we are today. It's a very confusing time to be alive. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, and that is not our bumper music, so let me find the right button again. All right, we'll be right back, folks. Don't go away.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Where did the last hour go? I looked up and I was like, how is it already? Yeah, so anyway, we got a slightly late start, so we're not quite back around to the top of the hour as far as show schedule is concerned. So we've still got about 7, almost 8 minutes left. So we've still got a little bit of time, but I'm just sitting here and I'm like, where the heck did the last hour go? It's like I looked up and it was over. I don't know what's going on with that lately. It's like anymore I do a show and I look up and it's like it's over before it starts. I don't know. Maybe that's still a holdover from the mornings when I was filling it over on KOKC and I got used to doing 3 hours at a time. I got to tell you, that was amazing to me because I remember there was a time that I would have been completely terrified of trying to hold down my own show for 3 hours. And then, because I always hear, all the big guys, anytime they're doing a show, it's like, oh my God, we're the fastest 3 hours on talk radio. And I can relate now because after doing that for that 3 hours, it honestly, I think that's another reason why now an hour feels even shorter, because after 3 hours, I feel like maybe I was working for 20 minutes. And so after an hour, it's like, oh my God, I think I was working for maybe 7. It's just crazy how much faster time goes by when you're actually doing something that you really, really like. But I just want to take a second, and the reason I was ending the show on this note is because I just wanted to take a second to say thank you to everybody that's made this possible. For those of you that don't know, I'm supposed to have a meeting at some point this week to button down the last few things that we need to button down over at KOKC. So I will be launching a Saturday show coming soon, right here in the Oklahoma market. And it's primarily because of you guys. They had such a large response from the folks that listen all the time. They got emails, and we had people calling in during the shows, and people that have listened for forever called in, and they were looking at it, and they basically decided, even though I didn't get the morning show, that it was enough of a draw that they really think that we could make something out of it. So I'm being given a shot, and that's because of you guys. I would do this every single day even if nobody listened, because to me it's therapy. But the fact that we have so many people that listen, the fact that we are, even in our little bitty website, getting over 250,000 plays a year. To the big guys, that doesn't sound like much, because some of those guys are getting 100,000 downloads an hour. But to us, for where we started to be where we are now, to the point where we have podcasts on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Those are things that a lot of us never thought were going to happen. You guys are making it possible because you guys are the ones that keep pushing us to do things better every single day. So I don't feel like we take the time to do that enough. And I know some of you are like, oh my God, he's ending the show talking to the listeners again. Look, we're family. I say that to the team all the time at KLRN Radio. Anytime they're like, well, like a conversation Dan and I just had about moving the show. It was like, I can't believe how cool about this you're being on like 30 seconds notice. I'm like, dude, we're family. If it's not working for you, then it's not working for me, and I want us to keep doing the show together, so we'll find a way to make it fit. It really is that simple. When you love the people that you work with and you love what you do, the rest of it's easy. You guys make it easier than it should be. Because even on days like today, when I was like, man, I had a really busy day at work, I'm really tired, and I just want to go to bed, although we've got to be 10 minutes before showtime, and all of a sudden I'm amped to hit the mic. And then before I realize it, the show is almost over. And that's because of you guys. As scary as this time is, and as terrified as I am that we've already gone over the cliff, the fact that I can still sit here talking to so many people every single night, even those of you that listen to podcasts later, I know we make a big deal about live numbers, and a lot of people do. I'm not that way. I don't care what my numbers are. At the end of the day, my focus changed a long time ago, because I used to be one of those guys that was convinced I was going to be the next guy that had 100,000 downloads an hour, and I was going to have the biggest podcast ever. And you know what I figured out? None of that matters. Because if I'm not actually reaching people and I'm not actually changing things, then it doesn't matter how many people listen. It doesn't matter how well I can get a message packaged to make sure that it hits the most number of people possible, so I'm lining my wallet. None of that matters if I'm not making a difference. And that's where I am. That's where I've been for a long time. As much as I would love to do this full time and get paid for it, I don't care if it ever gets to that point, as long as I know at the end of the day I am changing people. And you know what drove it home for me? This is going to be a little bit weird, but what drove it home for me is I was watching the new Netflix special for Fluffy. Come on, don't give me that look. You know who he is. He's the big, heavy-set Hispanic dude that's been all over comedy now for like 20 years. He just put a new Netflix special out, and it ended in probably the most epic way that I have ever seen a comedy special end. He went back to his very first stand-up routine and started doing the same jokes that he did in his very first stand-up routine, and the people in the audience were finishing the jokes. Like, you know how we go to a concert and we sing along with our favorite songs? They were doing the jokes for him. I literally watched him start crying because he said the very first joke that he ever said on a stage, and the audience finished it. At that time, the very first two people that ever saw him perform anywhere, because he started performing in their garage, working out his routine in their garage, and then when he started working in the local places, they were at every show. And every show, the first show, they said, "Hey, you're great, we'll be back next week." The next show, "Hey, you're great, we'll be back next week." He finally stopped the couple. He said, "Look, I'm doing the same 5-minute stand-up bit every week. Why are you guys in here every week?" Because we love you, we love what you do, you are awesome, and we're bringing new people every single time. That's what we've had here at KLRN Radio for a long time, is a solid core group of listeners that show up every single time, no matter what the rest of their life is like. They make time for us, and that's why we always want to make time for them. And I don't know where this trip's going to end, but I know that without you guys, I wouldn't have been offered a chance to do a radio show on KOKC. Because you guys are the ones that have pushed me to keep going even when I thought it wasn't worth it anymore. And that's why I'm ending tonight the way that I'm ending it. I want to thank you, every single one of you that tune in every week, every day, without fail. I don't care which one of our shows you're listening to, because I'm involved in all of them in one form or another. So I don't care. I don't care if you like Bunny's show more than you like mine. I don't care if you like Game On with JD and Stacy more than you like it when I talk. I don't care. We work together. We work as a family. So if one of us succeeds, then we all succeed. So if you enjoy somebody's show more than you enjoy mine, please don't think that I'm going to be offended. Because that's never, ever going to happen. Because I'm just thrilled to death with the fact that we have so many people that tune in all of the time. All right, folks, well, believe it or not, we have come to the end of the road on this Monday night. I am Rick Robinson. This is America Off the Rails. We will see you guys tomorrow night for the double shot right here on KLRN Radio. We're going to do first Jen and Rick, and then the America Off the Rails show is back at the 11 p.m. Eastern time slot on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Don't forget, Wednesdays are now a little bit different. We are not going to be doing America Off the Rails at 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing Robinson and Wright, not this week, but next week. I haven't decided. I think, honestly, I'm probably going to take Wednesday night this week off, just because that gives me an hour to work on the new intro to make sure we're ready for next week. But again, that is going to do it for this particular episode of America Off the Rails, and you never know, by Wednesday I may change my mind, so just stay tuned one way or the other. Remember, folks, we wouldn't do this without, well, I wouldn't say we wouldn't do this without you, because I still would, but the fact that so many of you listen is amazing. And remember, in the words of Bill S. Preston Esquire, until I see you again, be excellent to each other. Take care, and God bless.
I can't quit, it's in my heart, it's on my lips. I can't stop, no, I can't quit, it's in my heart, yeah, I'm on it. Till the wheels fall off, till the spotlight fades, I will lift your banner high, I will lift your Screw you guys, I'm going home. Later.
Game over, man.